The lighthouse keeper's secret. On the edge of the sea, there was a tall lighthouse. It stood alone on the rocks, watching the waves crash below. Every night, its bright light turned slowly in circles, warning ships of danger, guiding them to safety. Inside the lighthouse lived an old man named Thomas. He had been the keeper of the lighthouse for more than 40 years. Every evening, he climbed the long stairs, lit the great lamp, and checked the glass windows. It was a simple life, but it was his duty. Thomas was quiet. People in the nearby village knew little about him. He rarely spoke. He rarely visited the town. Some children whispered stories about him. They said he was hiding a secret. One stormy night, a boy named Daniel was walking near the shore. The wind howled, the rain fell hard, lightning cut across the sky. Suddenly, Daniel saw something strange. The lighthouse was dark. Its light was gone. The sea was wild, and ships were out on the water. Without the lighthouse, they could crash into the rocks. Daniel ran up the hill toward the lighthouse. He pushed open the heavy wooden door and shouted, "Mr. Thomas, the light is out!" At first, there was silence. Then footsteps echoed on the stairs. Thomas appeared holding an old lantern. His face looked pale, worried. "The lamp is broken," he said softly. "It hasn't gone out in years, but tonight something is wrong." Daniel looked at the giant machine. The glass was cracked. The flame inside had died. The storm shook the walls, and the waves hit the rocks harder and harder. "We must fix it," Daniel cried, "or the ships will be lost." Thomas sighed. His hands trembled. Finally, he whispered, "There is another lamp, but I have not used it in a very long time." He led Daniel down to a locked room beneath the stairs. From a dusty shelf, Thomas pulled out a small metal box. Inside was a strange, old lantern. It glowed faintly, as if it had its own light inside. Daniel stared. "It's shining by itself!" Thomas nodded slowly. "This lantern is special. My father gave it to me, and his father gave it to him. It never goes out. But it can only be used in times of great danger. I swore to keep it hidden." The storm roared louder. A distant horn sounded from the sea. A ship was calling for help. Daniel stepped closer. "Mr. Thomas, this is the time. You must use it." For a long moment, Thomas closed his eyes. Then, with a deep breath, he carried the glowing lantern up the stairs. He placed it where the great lamp should be. The light burst out, bright, powerful, shining across the ocean like the sun. The storm raged, but the ships now saw the way. One by one, they turned safely from the rocks and found the open water. Daniel watched from the window. The sea still roared, but he felt calm. The light was strong. The ships were safe. When morning came, the storm was gone. The sky was clear and blue. The villagers came running up the hill. They had seen the strange light. They asked Thomas many questions. But Thomas only smiled. He said, The lighthouse never sleeps. It will always guide you. That night, when Daniel returned home, he thought about the secret lantern. He realized that Thomas was not just a keeper of the lighthouse. He was a keeper of hope. From that day on, Daniel often visited Thomas. He helped clean the windows, polish the stairs, and checked the lamp. And sometimes, when the sea was quiet and the sky was full of stars, Thomas told Daniel stories about the light. Stories of storms survived, stories of sailors saved, stories of courage, patience, and waiting for the right moment to shine. The boy listened, and deep inside, he knew that one day the secret of the lantern would pass to him too.